So today I'm going to be talking about the Sacred Band of Thebes featuring Epaminondas and Pelopidas. Our story begins in 431 BCE with the Great Peloponnesian War. Basically, Athens had started an empire, colonizing a bunch of Greek city-states, forcing them to pay tribute, and if they didn't pay tribute, Athens would tear down their city walls. Sparta's pretty mad, and they call on their allies, such as Thebes and Corinth, to come help them defeat the Athenians. So, Sparta and its allies took over Athens in 404 BCE. Sparta tore down their city walls, and Thebes and Corinth were like, yo, make them our slaves. Sparta was like, I don't think I'm gonna do that, we're gonna just make them our ally, in air quotes. So Thebes and Corinth were a little bit mad at that, but then Sparta's like, we're gonna get rid of democracy, okay? We're gonna get rid of democracy everywhere. We're gonna put oligarchies in Athens, we're gonna put them in Thebes, we're gonna put them in Corinth, we're gonna put oligarchy everywhere. Thebes was a democracy, they didn't want an oligarchy, and they were Sparta's ally, but Sparta still treated them just as bad as they treated Athens. They also put military garrisons in all the city-states that they took over, including their allies, Thebes and Corinth, okay? Just imagine your biggest ally treating you like crap after you helped them win a war. Shut up, John. They treated them like crap.
I did not say a word.
They were treating Thebes like trash.
I did not say a word on the Theban situation.
Thebes was pissed, okay? Thebes was pissed. They're like, Sparta is treating us like trash right now, put in their military garrisons in my city, put in their oligarchy in my used-to-be democracy. Thebes is mad. They big mad. Mad with a capital M, okay? Big mad, okay? Big mad. So in the 370s, Epaminondas and Pelopidas, boom, they come up in Thebes. They're big shot, kind of politician guys. They would be bigger if it was a democracy, but hey, they're working with what they got. So, they're lovers. They love each other. They do all the things that lovers do, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? They create the Sacred Band. What is the Sacred Band, you may ask?
What's the Sacred Band, Brenna?
As you just asked, Sacred Band was a small military force of 150 pairs of male lovers, okay? So, 300 dudes, 150 pairs of lovers. Comprende?
I comprende.
Good. Okay, so basically, every guy gets a lover, and they go in this temple, and they say their vows before the gods, and we don't know what their vows would be exactly, but it'd be something like, I'm gonna fight by your side, I will fight for you, and I'll die for you if I gotta. Kind of like a wedding, because these were sacred vows. That's why they were called the Sacred Band. It was a very sacred declaration of love and loyalty between two dudes who really, really loved each other. And were willing to fight side by side, but also die if they had to. They all take their vows with their respective partners. Epaminondas and Pelopidas are partners, okay? They're leading this thing. They start training, military fighting stuff, but also they do kind of some cultural stuff. They bond. They really want to have a strong bond. And the whole reason they're all lovers is because they had this idea that their love for one another would overcome the hatred of the Spartans. Spartans are angry, mean, vicious people. They thought love will overcome the hate. Okay, cool. 371 BCE. Big battle. Battle of Leuctra. What happens is, Sparta hears about this Sacred Band stuff going on. They're training, loving, whatever. Sparta's like, we gonna crush this where it's at. There's only 300 in the Sacred Band. There's a bajillion of us. We're gonna go kick their butts. So as they're coming, Sparta's coming for them, and the Thebans are like, oh no, Spartans are coming. Well, the Sacred Band wasn't the only military force. They had a regular army in Thebes, but altogether total, Sparta's entire military force was 12,000 men. Theban's military force, including the Sacred Band and just the regular military, was 8,500. So they were pretty outnumbered. The Sacred Band takes the front of the force, and they go in and they pretty much draw in the Spartans and just kick their butts. They go crazy, okay? They are ruthless, slashing them down. Spartans get decimated, okay? They all die, okay? They get killed, deceased, done, dead. Dead as a freaking doornail, my dude. Dead, deceased, done.
Okay, now I believe you.
So Sacred Band, leading the Theban military, woo, they win, cool. Well, then they're like, all right, what are we going to do with Sparta? So they go to Sparta. And in Sparta, their whole economic system was created on the back of what are called helots. They were Spartan slaves. So the Thebans go and they free all the slaves. And Sparta's economy just collapses. They could no longer support a warrior class because they didn't have slaves to like do the work, and their warriors never did the work because they were too busy fighting all the time. So their economy collapsed, warrior class disappears, and basically Sparta is no longer a threat. They never really recover. Thebes, with help of Epaminondas and Pelopidas, claim hegemony over Greece. They're pretty much like, you could say, caretaker, overseer, sort of thing. Unlike Athens, who built an empire, and Sparta, who just pissed everybody off, Thebes did not demand tribute in the way that Athens did, and they allowed democracy to be restored in the city-states that wanted it. They reinforced their hegemony via political intervention, and sometimes military intervention, but that was really rare. They preferred to use political intervention because they didn't want to be seen as the cruel, brutish sort of city-state that Sparta was.
So they were the good imperialists.
They were. And then in 368, Pelopidas decides to go to Macedonia. In Macedonia, there's a civil war going on. He pretty much mediates between the two sides, helps crown a king, and then takes the king's brother, who is Philip II, as like a royal hostage, kind of to make sure that the Macedonians stay in their lane, so to speak, I guess. Macedonians, stay in your lane. He basically was raised by Pelopidas and therefore saw a lot of Greek culture, ideals, that sort of thing while he was there.
Is this how Macedonia, in this case, becomes Greek?
You could say that, and definitely he had a lot of that influence brought back once he was crowned later in his life. And that too rubbed off on Alexander a lot. So, you know, Alexander the Great's biggest legacy was Hellenism. That really started with Pelopidas teaching Philip II all these Greek cultural sort of ideals and whatnot. There is some speculation that Pelopidas and Philip had like maybe a little bit of a love affair. It's definitely speculation, but we do know later in his life Philip II did have at least one male lover. Pelopidas pretty much raised Philip until he was in his late teens, probably. Philip ends up becoming king. He decides he wants to unite Greece, so to speak. Conquer would probably be a better word. He starts barreling down south into Greece, and Thebes is like, okay, we gotta stop this. Sacred Band, gather up your arms, we're gonna get ready. We're gonna kick butt, because we kicked butt before, no big deal. They ask Athens to help them out. Athens hesitates. They don't show up. It's just Thebes. Sacred Band plus the Theban military. Philip and Alexander surround the Sacred Band and they say, surrender! But the Sacred Band took sacred vows that they would fight and die side by side if it ever came to that. So they refused to give up. Sadly though, Philip ended up killing all of the members of the Sacred Band. But then, when the battle was over, Philip went over and he saw the lovers laying there dead side by side. And admiring their bravery, he wept for them. Philip, this king of Macedonia, cried when he realized he'd killed the Sacred Band. This group that at one point proved that love could overcome hatred. And here they were slain side by side with their lovers. It's pretty tragic in their end, but they really did influence a lot of history, and it's important to note that there was this significant military force that was comprised of 150 pairs of male lovers. And that's something not a lot of people know about. Anything else I should say? Oh, let me give my shout out. We good? Okay. I'd like to give a big shout out to Dr. Denby Bowman of Capital University, who provided most of this information via lectures in his classes. Thank you.